Aqui é o Tigre Tony, de Sucrilhos. Cheguei aqui no meio do seu podcast para te falar que existem coisas mais importantes que ganhar ou perder. Dar o seu melhor. E assim você mexe nos seus placares pessoais, que são diferentes daqueles que marcam se seu time ganhou ou perdeu. Os seus placares marcam cada objetivo que você superou. Conte com a energia de Sucrilhos para bater todas as suas metas. E mostre sua garra. Sucrilhos, desperte o tigre em você.
Interrompemos esse podcast para perguntar: quem você quer ser?
Designer, engenheira,
pedagoga,
administrador.
Quer saber? O Senac EAD é nota máxima no MEC. Tem cursos de diversas áreas, com conteúdo elaborado por especialistas do mercado e professores mestres e doutores. Ainda tem o Senac Carreiras, conectando estudantes a vagas de emprego em todo o país. Saiba mais em ead.senac.br/graduação.
I couldn't get into clean because I didn't have no lecture for over a month because they turned the lecture off, and it took me over a month to get it in my name because I needed a social security card. At my age, I had to go around and look for one before they returned the lecture on. And I had lecture for 60 years. Did he tell you he had no lecture? They cut the lecture off in the office for 2 months. I had to run around and get a social security card.
This is the plaintiff, Bruce Pouncey. He says he rented an apartment from the defendant, and she got mad when he suggested moving his nephew in as his new roommate because his previous roommate died. She pretty much forced him out into the street, and now she won't return his security deposit, and that's just not right. He's suing for $1,200, the amount he still owed. This is the defendant, Beatrice Smith. She says the plaintiff's girlfriend died and the guy just up and moved out one day without even telling her. The man left the place a pigsty. He removed the door to the oven, and he didn't even pay the last month's rent. Pay him back his security? No way, because he owes her. She's accused of kicking a tenant to the curb.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
You see it, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Bruce Pouncey,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
suing your former landlord, Beatrice Smith, for
Yes.
$1,200 and amounts of security deposit that she is refusing to repay. Tell
Yes.
me.
My friend, she died September the 2nd.
And she was your roommate?
She was my roommate.
Were you both on the lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And when
May I see the lease?
Yes, ma'am. I'll tell you what it's on about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Was she your girlfriend?
Yeah, I had an Irish girl. I've been with her for about 10 years, you know.
And did she die suddenly, or?
Heart gave out, and she heart bust. And you know the sad part about it, I told her about that. And, you know, she told me, I don't care nothing about that. Just, I want my rent money. Even that kind of hurt me,
Okay.
you know. She told me I was a good tenant. If I was a good tenant, why I got to fight you for my money? All I wanted was my security deposit.
Well, what ended up happening after your
Girlfriend
partner died? That was what month?
That was September the 2nd.
Okay. And had you paid September rent?
Yes, ma'am, I got
And
it.
had you paid the rent in the month you were current?
I was paid all the way up to October the 2nd.
Okay.
So I told her I can't afford to pay the rent by myself because me and her were paying it together, you know.
Right.
So I paid the rent one more time, and that was it, you know.
But you told her that you were leaving at the end
Yes,
of?
I did. Yes,
when?
I did. She came
when
on
did you leave? End of November?
The 8th
Of what month?
I think November.
You left the 8th of November.
Oh, November, yeah.
Does that sound right or no?
No, Your Honor.
When did he leave?
He left in October. When he explained that his girlfriend had died, my daughter died too. May the 2nd of a heart attack.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, and so I couldn't hear nothing because I had her mortgage to pay and my mortgage to pay. You know, the month before that, his father died down south. You know, it was always a story with him. I never got my rent on time. I always had to run him down.
When was the last month that you got rent?
October.
So what rent does he owe you?
He didn't pay November.
Did he leave? Okay. When did he leave? Because you said earlier he left in October. When did he leave?
It must have been around the 7th or 8th that he left. He never told me
of
October. Of October.
You really mean November, don't you?
No. He moved the same month that he paid.
Oh, so he doesn't owe you rent?
No, he don't owe me rent. He just owed for the rest of his lease. Because the lease was up until April.
Okay.
That's all.
So, all right, let's, okay. And according to you, that's not true. You stayed to November 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which is really against his interest to say, so I kind of end up believing him over you because you're all over the place.
I'm sorry.
But in any event, you say you stayed till November 8th and you did not pay November rent, correct?
Right.
Okay, so now you asked for your security deposit back when?
Same day she came there on a Sunday when people was helping me move out. She telling them what to do. She came in there like she was taking over, and that was on a Sunday. So I said, Miss B, I'm not going to have a problem with you because I see how you came in on me.
Well, I know, but why would you think you wouldn't have a problem if you were staying 8 extra days that you didn't pay rent for into November and breaking a lease?
Because
I mean, I understand you had difficult circumstances that you didn't anticipate, but when you sign a lease, you know, you're signing it, you're jointly and severally liable. That means each of you are responsible for the whole thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So why would you think that there wouldn't be some issue with your security deposit?
Because I explained it to
Plus,
him.
you're breaking the, I know, but you think that because you explain that times are tough, that gives you a pass. And it doesn't.
Well,
legally speaking, it doesn't. Speaking of legally speaking, you belong to one of those states, the great state of Pennsylvania, that has certain requirements for landlords in order to lay claim on a security deposit. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, love. I'm sorry, Judge.
No, it's fine, but you not knowing has a consequence. You belong to a state, and a lot of states do this, where they require the landlord, if you plan to keep a deposit, you have to send a letter within 30 days of the time your tenant leaves, explain to their last known address, explaining to them and itemizing what you are keeping any portion of the deposit for. And if you don't, the consequence is that you end up having to pay, this is a stricter state than most, you end up having to pay double what you wrongfully withheld if you don't send the list.
Well, Judge, I don't have that. I don't
because
have
you didn't do that.
No, I don't have that letter.
And you didn't do that. You didn't send anything to him.
Now, I spoke to his sister-in-law.
Okay, speaking to his sister-in-law is not the same as putting and writing a letter within 30 days. You understand that, right?
And I took
so you told his sister-in-law, where's my money? That's not the same as putting in writing why you're laying claim to a security deposit.
But I had pictures of the place that they left.
Show me the place, how he left it.
It's on the back what was wrong.
So what was wrong with it?
Gas stove door is off, a glass door. They were supposed to repair that, never did. It's still on the cabinet. I don't think you had that one. That's the one.
What was this?
It's on the smoke detectors, the tops is off the smoke detector.
Living room, but what is this, just stuff they left behind?
Yeah, yes. That's the rug, piece of the rug.
That was left on the kitchen floor. What is this?
Is that the one you left on the kitchen floor? That's on the floor in the kitchen.
Is it a wig? What is it?
I don't know. It was rags. It was rags.
Okay.
Dirty rags.
The proverbial stove that's always dirty. I'm the only one who cleans the stove after I rent a place.
Me too.
Okay. Oh, how much? What was the rent per month?
It was $625, ma'am. Judge, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't care about ma'am. Miss bothers me.
Yeah, that's very
It shouldn't. I should be flattered.
Ma'am is a miss.
Yeah, it's kind of like a young thing, right?
I never thought about it like that. No, I'm not under these conditions.
I don't know. It's disrespectful, but it's still, you look young.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll watch you all the
How
time.
much was rent?
$625. Hey, can I say something?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't even let me clean that place up. It was some clothes on the floor. She took my pots, my flower pots. She took everything, locked the door. What is she talking about?
What are you talking about? Wait. What are you talking about?
She talking about I left the place raggedy. She locked the door on me, and I made a police report Monday. It happened on a Sunday, and she wouldn't even let me in there.
What are you referring to? It should be clean before you're moving out.
Well, it wasn't nothing there but a pot in the zinc.
Okay,
and maybe
the stove was disgusting. I mean, yeah, it's a stove, okay, but it was disgusting.
And Your Honor, I couldn't get it to clean because I didn't have no lecture for over a month because they turned the lecture off, and it took me over a month to get it in my name because I needed a Social Security card. At my age, I had to go around and look for one before they returned the lecture on, and I had lecture for 60 years. Did he tell you had no lecture? They cut the lecture off in the office for 2 months. I had to run around and get a Social Security card.
Apparently your electric was cut off?
When I got home, because it was still in her name, I went down.
What? In whose name?
Okay, stop yelling.
Wait, I'm sorry,
Don't
Jack.
yell at the
Look at
man.
that paper. See what that paper say.
Whose name was it in?
It wasn't in my name.
No, he's talking about his mate.
I know. They sat on the back porch out there with his friends and smoked that mess and thought they could get over with not paying the electric bill because she was dead. I know what happened.
Lord have mercy.
You ain't telling me.
Okay. The amount of the security deposit is $1,200, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But we know right off the bat that you owe for November. You can't stay 1 day without owing for the month of November.
Well, that's
how it works.
It's okay,
so 625 of that 1,200 is gone. So now we talk about what's left and whether she has any right to it. What happened to what was that the door of the stove?
The door, the glass stove. The glass door of the stove, yes.
What happened to that?
I'll tell you what happened with it. That's wear and tear. You open the door, she opened the door up, put a cake in the oven, pull that, and it came off. And I let her know. She told him, well, my old man gonna fix it. I said, well, let him fix it then.
Had he talked to you about the door
He
before?
didn't tell me number door.
That's
I didn't know
all
until
right.
after they
Put
was
us on
getting
a
out
lie
there.
detector test. Take a lie detector test.
Well, he
for
better
me
take one
now.
of you too then.
Take mine out.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here, and the question: do tenants typically abuse the places they rent?
I would say more often than not.
Yeah, I could tell you didn't want to say it, but you're gonna say it.
But it does happen commonly, I would think.
What do you say?
It depends.
No, not it depends. Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think so.
Why?
Well, because they have to pay like deposits and they have to pay it back.
Who thinks yes? Okay, why?
Yes, that they don't take care of it as well.
Why?
Because it's not theirs and they're just going to give it back anyway, so they don't take care of it like their own.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
You were able to rent it out for December, right?
No, because I don't have the stove fixed. I don't have the stove fixed.
Oh, so you still haven't rented it out?
No, because I just got the electric on.
You're losing $600, so why don't you just buy a new stove, woman?
I know, but I can't take no more of these people, these judges.
Oh, you don't really want a tenant?
No, I don't want no tenant. I'm too old for it.
I know what you mean.
Huh.
I know. So
I'm getting too old for it. Because they don't appreciate it. And when he told me that his girlfriend died, and my daughter died May the 2nd, I took her to the hospital the day before, and she died the next day. You think I care about somebody else dying?
You said you didn't give it up?
Okay, but
That's just right.
It might be better if you didn't say that to somebody who just lost a loved one.
Yeah, but
Because
I
if
lost my
somebody had
daughter,
said,
though.
I understand that you have your own responsibilities,
Yeah.
and that's what you meant, but it came off as rather insensitive. Okay? So just.
Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Oh, good. All right. So off of the bat, $625 goes for the rent. Then that leaves $575. Of the $575, I'm going to allow her to take $200 for cleanup because there were numerous things there that had to be taken to the dump. I don't think that the stove, I'm not going to let her keep anything for the stove. I think that that's,
She wouldn't let me clean it. She locked the door.
Okay, you don't get it.
Okay,
See, you've
I'm
walked
sorry.
out when she locks the door.
Okay.
By definition, you've walked out. And it's supposed to be clean before you walk out the door. And the thing that isn't clean and the things that got left behind is a lot of stuff. So that requires some amount of labor and repair and everything else. That leaves $375. But under the statutory scheme in your state, any amount that's wrongfully withheld is doubled because you didn't write an itemized list, okay? So you have to return $750, verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck,
Okay,
folks.
and I look you at this, I look at your earrings. Your earrings are gorgeous. That's the only reason why I came here.
You gotta come back.
All right, hold on right there, guys.
Oh my gosh, this is awful.
I see you all the time. Oh, no,
All right, come on in here, right in here.
Good.
You got anything left?
I ain't got nothing else to say. No, nothing.
You got to be kidding me. After all that, you got nothing left?
Nothing else. Oh, here, son of a.
You serious?
That's it, yeah.
All right, okay, this way.
Which way?
This way. Are you sure? You sure nothing? This way, right this way. Right around the corner here. What are you looking at?
Huh, that chump.
Go stand on those feet.
All right. What's this been like for you?
Oh, I've been hell with her, you know what I mean? Because she told me, my friend, when my Irish friend died, she had no love, you know what I mean? So I'm glad to get away from there, you know what I mean?
Was that kind of the seed for this whole thing? Her lack of
care,
compassion for you?
And then she took and locked the doors on me, so, I was pretty upset about that, and I was glad to get away from her, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Well, you collected double what she owed you because of the law.
Right.
You saw that coming?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Harvey?
You know, the judge mentioned, Kurt, that in Pennsylvania, the landlord has 30 days to send a notice to the tenant saying why certain security was withheld. In many states, it's half that. It's 15 days. And if the landlord doesn't send the letter, the landlord will be subject to penalty. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Renee Sims. She says she decorated the wedding hall for the defendant's wedding. And when the woman returned from her honeymoon, she informed her that the guests weren't happy with the reception. She was sorry to hear that, but she wasn't the wedding coordinator. She was just the decorator. She's here today suing because the woman still owes her money for the services she provided. The defendant's refusing to pay. That's why she's suing for the $300 she still owed. This is the defendant, Desiree St. Louis Cummings. She says the plaintiff is the wedding coordinator, and all this baloney about her being just a decorator is a bunch of nonsense. That's right, the woman did a miserable job. She wasn't even present at the reception, and she has no idea how bad it was. And she refuses to pay her the $300 she's seeking because she didn't even get what she paid for. She's accused of walking out on a wedding planner. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $509.07 for missing decor and other costs.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff decorated the defendant's reception wedding hall and didn't get paid. But the defendant says the plaintiff did a crappy job. It's the case of your centerpieces are pieces of you-know-what.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Renee Sims, you are suing on behalf of your company, Ms. Desiree St. Louis Cummings. For $300, you say she still owes you on a contract to be her wedding event planner. You're counterclaiming against her. You not only don't want to pay that $3-something, but you also feel like she owes you money, $509.07, for various items that you say were stolen during your wedding. Okay, talk to me.
About a year prior to her wedding, she started talking to me about she was getting married. She wanted me to decorate. I was not hired as a wedding coordinator. As her decorator. Somebody else was supposed to be her coordinator.
What were you supposed to be?
I was supposed to decorate.
I'm sorry, so what
I was supposed to be decorating.
You are supposed to be decorating.
Originally, she wanted to use glassware, and we was gonna break down and set up, but I talked her out of the glassware. We used paper products, so everything was to go in the garbage.
So what were you hired to do, though?
To decorate.
To decorate, and that means what? How much are you getting paid? Do you have a contract?
$17.50, yes.
Okay, so $17.50 you were going to get paid to decorate, and then she had to pay for the decorations, or that included the decorations?
She paid for all the decorations. She ordered everything.
So literally, what were you doing then?
Decorating 3 different halls.
So she bought the decorations, then she gave them to you, and then you would put them on the tables?
Yeah. I have 6 other people who help me.
To decorate tables?
$10 an hour.
Okay, so go on.
That's it. That's all she
bought. May I see your contract? So all you got paid to do is put things on a table and take them up?
You have to put them out. I also did the buffet.
What does did the buffet mean?
I bought the chafing racks. I set up the table. I also did the favor room and the candy buffet.
Okay, so here's your contract. The purchaser seeks to hire, and it has your corporate name, as a primary event planner. That is checked by you. What's an event planner?
Well, to plan her wedding, but she did everything herself.
But you got paid to be the event planner.
She didn't pay me for that.
What's the problem? She doesn't want to pay you because things went wrong, and your answer is, I'm not responsible for doing anything except for setting up and taking down. But I'm looking at your contract, and that's not what it says. It has in writing, wedding setup and breakdown of all decorations at church and community hall, all labor, 1 candy buffet, only charged per candy.
I only charged her $300 for the candy buffet. I just told her to pay for the candy. I'll set it up for her.
So the 6 people who were there, were they the bartenders? Were they the people serving? Were they?
My people were only supposed to help me set up, decorate, put the stuff out.
So then you left the wedding, and then you come back 4 hours later when it's over because you don't have any responsibility during the wedding?
Oh, I didn't go to the wedding. This is the reception hall.
I'm sorry, you have no responsibility at the reception hall? You just leave and then you come and you pick up. Exactly. So tell me what you guys did while you were there.
We were supposed to not do anything, but we ended up
But that doesn't sound believable to me because A, you've checked the box that says you're the primary event planner. Then who's in charge if it's not you and you're the primary event planner?
Well, I thought I was in charge.
All right, now at the end of the day, you were paid up for everything except for $300.
$300.
Okay, break down for me where that $300 is from.
$300 was from doing her party favors.
Okay. All right, so according to you, she owes you $300.
$300.
And you won't pay her why? What's the problem?
By the time the wedding was done, it was so much that this lady just did crazy. She's talking about, she, like you said, she's the event planner. The planning of the wedding, I took care of because I knew what I wanted.
The planning of the what? The ceremony, you mean?
The whole, like the decor and all that stuff. I did that.
No, what is it that you did that was her job?
She was not at the church. If you're a coordinator, you would at least know the setup of the church. You would know at least to have the bridal party, how to come down the aisle, stuff like that.
Right. Okay, so you were surprised not to see her at the church?
Yes.
According to you. And then what happens?
Then what happened is that this lady here, which is a friend of my daughter, she was not even an invited guest. My daughter must have told her to come by to see her or whatever. And this is the lady that actually saved the day.
Well, you should have invited her.
Exactly.
Come on
I should
up.
have paid her.
You come on up, please.
This lady just took, she just
This
came
is
in.
Where? At the church?
At the church. And then at the ceremony, when we got to the reception too, because...
Okay, how did you end up in the position of, quote, coordinating, which meant what? What did you do at the church?
At the church, the pastor asked me where was the runner, where was the license, where was everything so we can get things started. I told him, I don't know because I'm just here because her sister is my best friend and she was here from out of town and my daughter wanted to see her. So we were only supposed to go to the church only. So when the church stuff fell apart, me and the photographer found the runner. We started the wedding. I lined them up the best way I knew how because I didn't know
No, but how did you end up lining them? Like, who asked you to line them up and do all that?
Her daughter asked me, could you just take over because the coordinator's not here?
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Her daughter said to you, will you please take over, the coordinator's not here?
So my mother won't have a messed up wedding. Can you please do this for us? And I said, okay. And then her daughter said, can you come to the hall to make sure everything goes smooth? I was like, okay.
And then what else went wrong at the wedding that you feel like you shouldn't have to pay?
Ultimately, can brides be pleased with anything about a wedding?
Of course they can. I mean, it's their special day, and yeah.
Why do so many brides sue?
Why do so many brides sue?
Yeah.
They're not content with their own life.
Exactly. Can they be pleased ultimately?
I think it comes down to thankfulness and the quality of their hearts about that, because there's so many things that people have done for them.
You're avoiding the question. Can most brides be pleased?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to badger you, but really?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
She was supposed to make sure we ate. The bride, she was supposed to make sure the parents ate. She never did. This lady was who brought our food. I have the pictures of what she did.
Okay, may I see the picture of what you're talking about? All right, so now what else went wrong in the wedding that you think you shouldn't have to pay her?
I asked her to put pictures on the tables.
You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You asked her to put what?
Pictures to have like soda for the guests. Yes.
Okay.
She had the pictures sitting on the table empty. A couple of people actually took their pictures to the bar to get stuff in it. And we had the discussion before. She said, why do you need pictures? I said, because I don't want the guests, when they sit in to eat, to be getting up to go get a soda and a soda. She still had the pictures sitting there all night.
Okay, what else went wrong?
I had 20 bottles of champagne. And at the end of the night, 2 bottles went back home. So at least 10 bottles of the champagne is unaccounted for.
How do you know 10 bottles are unaccounted for?
When I have my girlfriend, when they were leaving, they saw the daughters going by with bottles under their jackets until one of my friends thought that we were giving away liquor. They were like, oh, let's go back in. They look like they're giving away liquor. And then the other friend was like, no, they look like they're stealing the liquor.
Okay.
It's a whole lot, but like I told her, at the end of the day...
How do you two know each other?
Oh, this is church.
church.
Church. Yes.
I've been here 20 years. I don't know how long she's been.
Church.
Same church you go to?
Okay. Can I clear some of the liquor stuff up for her?
Yeah.
She already know we didn't take any of her champagne. My husband dug in the bottom of these body-sized coolers they had to get every bottle out that he could find. Stephanie knows it. Desiree knows it.
So, you know, though, with this favor stuff, you agreed beforehand that you would pay her.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. And you just feel that because things went poorly, that you shouldn't have to pay her the remaining $300.
Not only that, but because of the missing stuff.
Right, but
Because
you
I'm
have no evidence that they took the missing stuff. You have a lot of guests walking in and out. You have other people organizing and controlling things. A lot. And I mean, I'm sure that you love your family and your guests, but you have one person who gave me an affidavit saying, I saw one of the daughters with a bottle under her jacket, so I thought, woohoo, they're giving away stuff. So I ran back. That is the affidavit that you submitted for my consideration.
Yes.
So clear. Yeah, okay, you know, so we have a saying in Spanish. Okay? Vamos a acabar la fiesta en paz. Yes. Let us finish the party in peace.
Yes.
I'm stunned that I'm here over $300 with two people who attend the same church and who know each other. I'm just stunned. It's just $300. With two women who attend the same. You see each other every Sunday? See each other last Sunday? You gonna see each other next Sunday?
And that's the
wow. Who are you?
I'm the husband.
Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna let you sit. This is my wedding gift to you. Okay.
Can I just say something, please?
Yeah.
I didn't go there to overstep no one's toes. I didn't go there to step on Renee's toes.
Let me just, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. You've been very helpful, but I still want to interrupt you. What is your answer to why you didn't go to the church?
Well, prior to us finalizing everything the day before, she didn't need me at the church. She said I asked her everything. I asked her if she could
your
run that.
testimony, stop and listen to me. So your answer for why you didn't show up at the church was she told you not to, right? Essentially?
When she discussed
yes or no? Is that your answer?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever tell her not to show up at the church?
No.
Okay. I have to tell you that alone, stop talking. That alone, the way that shook out, where all of a sudden we're grabbing a woman who's not even invited and asking her, we need you, or invited to the reception, or whatever, we need you to pull through and do this and do that. And, you know, when that doesn't look to me like someone who had another plan. That looks to me like someone who expected you to show up. And your contract calls for you to show up there. So if that contract was changed, I'm going to need proof. Do you have in writing, clearly not through another contract, but a text or something where she tells you, we don't need you at the church, you don't need to come to the church? Because her testimony is, no, Judge, I paid for that and I wanted that.
Except for I already told her I wasn't going to church.
Why are you telling her you're not going?
Because when we just was discussing the hours to decorate and the in-between time.
You know what? I'm not going to make her pay you the additional $300. I'm not going to order her to give anything back either.
For the favors I
don't care. I don't care because you didn't provide the stuff she did pay for. Okay? So yeah, I'm calling it even. It was good enough for you then. It's good enough for me now.
Well, zeros on both sides of the courtroom. The plaintiff comes out here with nothing. What's your reaction to this?
I should do what my first mind said, don't bring the favors to the wedding. That was my first mind when I realized she was trying to get me.
Yeah, that's when you realized it?
Yeah. I wasn't going to bring the favors. But then I said, no, she better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess not.
Okay. All right, head back this way. All right. Nothing for you either. Nothing for her. How was the wedding?
Me. It was beautiful. After the fact, the party itself is great.
You wouldn't allow something like that to ruin your big day?
No. I was looking at it and it was irking me, and then I was just like, you know what? This is my day. I'm not going to let nothing mess it up.
All right. You know who gets the final word here? He does.
Thank God it's over.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, you know what? The more specific you can be in these wedding contracts, the better. Write down every hors d'oeuvre that you want. Everything that you can possibly write down to be specific will help you. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Frank DiGiovanni. He says he and his son were hired at $35 an hour by the defendant to get signatures so he could be put on a ballot to run for office in his hometown. He and his son worked tirelessly canvassing neighborhoods, ringing doorbells, and the unscrupulous defendant has refused to pay them. Well, he won't be taken advantage of by a second-rate politician and is suing him here and now for the $455 he's rightfully owed. This is the defendant, Stephen Maresca. He says he has never even met the plaintiff. The agreement he had was with the plaintiff's son. The plaintiff's son claims he worked 30 hours to get 30 signatures, which is impossible. The kid and his friends didn't do a good job, but he did the right thing and paid him $525 for the work he did. And now the father wants to be paid too? Really? He's accused of conning a kid.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says he and his son were hired by the defendant to get signatures on a petition so the defendant could run for office. But the defendant says the agreement was with the plaintiff's son and the kid did a bad job. It's the case of, if elected, I'll go on the People's Court.
Thank you, Douglas. Frank DiGiovanni, you are suing Stephen Maresca for $455 for payment, for $35 an hour for 13 hours, 2 hours a day for 2 weeks that, according to you, he owes you. Talk to me. What happened?
Well, Your Honor, my son here is into politics.
Okay.
Stephen Maresca hired him to get signatures on a petition, and if he gets enough signatures, he can have his name on a ballot and be the district leader.
That you're referring to Mr. Maresca wanting to get enough signatures. How many signatures do you need in order to be on the ballot?
In this case, it was about 350.
Okay.
And he explained, what to do to my son, and told him, my son agreed, and he says you can get 1 or 2 people to help you and explain to them, what the hourly rate was and what to do. So he gave my son a list of, houses, addresses to go to, and we went to get these signatures. And some people will say, well, who is this Mr. Maresca? And I would say, what he's wants to go for district leader of that district. And
what's district leader?
It's a state committee. It's a member of the party state committee. It also has the title of district leader.
What's your job as district leader?
Well, you don't get paid. That's the first thing. You are a member of the party state committee. You recruit candidates. You vote on state, their positions on state issues. You're also a liaison to elected officials.
Okay, go ahead.
I did my best to make him look good, and most of the time it worked, and I got the signatures. And so at the end of the 2-week period, it was time to...
How many signatures did you get?
I didn't count them, but I have...
Oh, that's important. I want to know how many signatures you got. Come on. Who's that gentleman? Is that your son?
My son, Vito.
Okay.
Yes. We have all the petitions.
How many signatures did you have?
I believe it was 17 for my father.
17?
17 in about 13
I could get 17
hours.
in my house right now.
Well,
well, Judge.
You see, in Kings County, to collect Republican signatures is very difficult because most people are Democrats, and a lot of people just don't enter the doors to strangers, so it's very time-consuming.
Especially Republicans, right?
So it's very hard for,
So you had to get Republican signatures?
Yeah, specifically Republican signatures in this specific district.
Okay.
So it's much more difficult.
Now, what is your name?
My name is Vito DiGiovanni.
All right, and my understanding from your father's complaint is that you actually have a political show?
Yes, I'm very involved in local politics. I have my own radio show. I'm very involved in
What kind of radio show?
It's a conservative talk radio. It's syndicated across the country and on the internet.
And what's your show called?
The Vito and Vito Show.
Who's the other Vito?
It's my
Or is it just you repeating things?
My co-host is a longtime friend, also the same name.
Who's also nicknamed Vito?
Coincidence.
Right. Okay. So now, who's the one who actually gets hired by him, you or your father?
Well, all three of us. There's also my friend
Did you
included.
ever speak to him?
Yes, we met in his Bay Ridge home, one of his houses, and he agreed to hire me for $35 an hour. And I said, he's all right.
Stop 1 second. Did you ever speak with him?
Is running for politics a noble job?
Not always. Not
generally.
Generally, you can say yes.
Okay, you can say yes. What do you say?
No.
Why? That's sad.
Because there's so many lies and so much deception.
Oh, God. It's so sad and true, going inside the courtroom.
When you say we met at his house, who's we?
We as in Stephen and I.
Oh, got it.
And Stephen agreed.
So he hired you, and then you picked your dad and another friend to help you.
Well, he told them to do so.
Yes, I said, oh, just my father and my friend.
All right, well, when they come to you after 2 weeks and they have 17 signatures, what's your response?
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor, that's just from me.
Oh, how many
three of
signatures
us.
total did you get?
We have all these petitions.
Just
and signatures.
answer my question.
I believe at least 30 between all three of us.
That's about
So apparently your father did the hardest work. Okay. So you got 30 signatures, and what did you say to them? What did you say to him?
Yes. I said, this is a very low number of signatures for the amount of hours
that you claim you worked.
That's correct. So I said, you know, I've had other petitioners that I hired who said they worked 30 hours, and they got 75, 80 signatures, 90 signatures. So when he said, this is what we got, and we worked 30 hours, and that was going to come to something like $1,000, I said, I really, you know, if you had come back with a larger number of signatures, I would pay you the full amount that I agreed. When he came back,
what is the full amount you agreed?
$35 an hour.
Right, but what stops somebody from them coming and saying, I worked 1 million hours?
Ah, that's correct.
Well, that's why you don't hire somebody by the hour.
Well, but we are not permitted.
You are not allowed to say, I'll hire you by the signature, because then it's like you're buying the signature.
That's correct.
I got it.
Yes.
But, like, you got to cap the hours.
Well, this is the honor system.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have a name for people like you. We call them litigants.
Well, that's...
Let me point out that you are here.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So then what happens?
There was no evidence.
Do you end up paying him anything?
Yes, I paid him $525.
Okay. And is that an amount that you folks settled on, or son was still angry?
He was not happy with that amount, but it was an amount that I thought was reasonable.
Okay. But when you paid it, did you tell him this is all I'm paying you?
Yes.
And did you pay him by check or by cash?
Check.
Okay. Did you cash a check?
Yes, I have the receipts and everything.
Okay. Did you put full and final payment on the check?
No, I just said for petitioning.
And then you are not suing, your father's suing.
Yes, because the check was in my name. He gave me a check, but did not pay my father anything. He told me to split all this based on how many signatures we got.
Your Honor,
but yeah.
The agreement I had was with Vito DiGiovanni, and I said, I'm making this agreement with you. I will pay you. If you want to get people to help you,
right,
as long as they are enrolled Republicans in the state, that's fine with me.
Why, do they have to be enrolled Republicans?
That's correct. Or a notary.
Okay.
Or a notary.
All right, but now if the agreement is reached with Vito, then how do you, who never met him, how can you come to court to sue on a contract when you have no contract with him? I'm not talking to Vito now, I'm talking to Dad.
It's a verbal contract.
What verbal contract? You never spoke with the guy.
Well, he did tell my son to go home.
Yeah, but if I hire a contractor and I say, I need this done by, so if you want to hire a few other people to help you, that's not a contract that those subs have with me. That's a contract that the subs have with the contractor.
But he said that's how much he's paying an hour. He wasn't just talking about my son.
You never got hired by him to be paid. See, you have a problem. The reason you're suing is because he already cashed a check. So you're suing because you haven't been paid any check. So he's not suing because he's accepted the check. He cashed a check and he's already, kind of squared with him. So you are suing. But you have to come to court in order to sue. You have to have what we call a contract. Contracts can be verbal, but they have to be yours. They can't be someone else's. So you can have a verbal contract, but you have to have what we call privity of contract. That means you're the guy that struck a deal with the guy who you're suing, who you're saying didn't pay you. You don't have that at all.
Well, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't look up laws.
I am.
I know my son. And I appreciate that.
I hope so.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
My son came and explained what Mr. Maresca said, and that he can hire.
That doesn't magically make a contract between you and him. That makes a contract between you and your son. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Well, the judge rules that the plaintiff didn't have a contract with the defendant and had no standing to sue him. What's your reaction on this outcome?
Well, my understanding is that when my son left his house or his office, he says, you can hire a couple of people, meaning he's going to pay them. I understand what the judge is saying. I never met the guy.
You had a contract with your son.
Yeah, but the money was coming from Mr. Maresca, okay? He said he was going to pay the three of us, and he only paid one.
You're going to trash him on the show now?
Well, we'll see about that. But he gave me extra money in the check that. I worked a certain amount of hours. He paid me for more than that to split with my father. But that's not how you do business. You got to give the man the check. What do you work for?
All right, head around the corner this way. Good luck. All right, sir. So come on in here, and what's your feeling on this outcome here?
Well, I'm pleased that the outcome was reached. I mean, I feel it was just. I never agreed to pay Frank DiGiovanni directly for anything. I said I would pay his son, and he could split the money however he wished.
What do you expect? How many signatures did you expect?
For the amount of hours that he said he worked, I would have expected certainly in excess of 50, and possibly close to 75 or 80.
What's a signature worth?
It's worth what it takes to get on the ballot. I mean,
did you get on?
I got on, yes, and my opponent withdrew, and I won.
So. Harvey?
The bottom line here, there has to be a contract obligating somebody to pay for a service, and here there just wasn't one.